What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Paranormal Rush Hour. I'm your host, Ryan Rush, and tonight I want to talk to you guys about a topic that has actually been requested. This is one that I've been meaning to do an episode on, but it's one that I have not yet gotten around to until now. So I figured since someone took the time to actually specifically request this from me, I figured I would take the time to actually go over it with you guys. Uh, this is the email they sent me. Hey Ryan, I was wanting to know if you might do a show on the DIA, Denver International Airport. I think I remember you mentioning it on a past episode I watched, and it sounded really weird. Anyway, I just wanted to see what your thoughts on it are. Keep up the great show. Your friend and subscriber, Derek. Well, Derek, tonight's your lucky night. I'm going to do a show on the DIA. All right. I'm not trying to get all conspiracy with the show or anything, but I do enjoy covering those topics sometimes because they are interesting. There's a lot to them, and there's a lot that makes a lot of sense too. I hate to say it, but just because it is a conspiracy doesn't mean it's fiction. So there's a lot that have turned out to be true. Anyhow, I want to go ahead and mention this though. I put a Dogman picture up. This one is awesome, and this was from my friend Leonard Mott Jr., who has sent me so many amazing pieces of art that I'm just like, I don't know what to do with them all because they're so awesome. I want to just like put them up everywhere in here. I haven't gotten quite enough frames yet, but that's what I'd really like to do, ideally. But one day I might just make the whole studio visible and make a big old space for tons of guests to be in here and just have some big crazy random discussion going on. Now that just sounds like a Charlie Foxtrot to me, but I'm just kidding. I would like to do that though. Put up all those pictures because they're so freaking cool. There's some of them, I don't know, I just love them. A lot of them are the ones that, of things that I actually found too. That's what is so cool about a lot of it because I can like look at the ones he drew and I can actually remember finding those because so many of the Sasquatch structures are just so unique. They're so individual. Like there's nothing else like it. Like you might see one that's the same formation, exact same shapes, everything, but there's always this little different flair to it. It's strange. When you see them consecutively, like just time after time, you can actually pick up on certain ones. It's kind of like they have their own characteristics, like the ones who will make certain ones will actually make them a certain way where you can kind of tell, okay, that's made a lot like this one, and this one, it looks a lot like that same type of construction, but like just the way they do it. So it's kind of individualized. I think that is a lot of how it goes. Anyway, I'm getting way off topic because this is not the Sasquatch structure episode, that's for sure. This is also the 20th one, the 20th episode where I'm going to talk for more than 8 minutes or something like that. But you guys really appreciate everybody that's subscribed and everybody that continues to watch, and all of you guys that have sent me your paranormal. And I've gotten some of the wildest stories, and I'm so stoked to be able to share all of them because I love reading them. They're so cool. Everybody has seen so much stuff. Like, there's just no way around it. Everybody has seen stuff, and if everybody tells their story, you'll soon find out that the stuff that you thought was pretty crazy, people might think you're nuts for talking about or whatever. They've seen some of the same things, same type of thing anyway. Stuff that they're afraid people would call them crazy for talking about. That's the way it is. People have seen stuff. And the world is just getting crazier and crazier, and people are seeing more and more stuff now. I don't know. I mean, it's so common for everybody to have had a paranormal experience, at least one. You know, some people, like myself, have had tons that they never asked for. That's just how it goes sometimes, I guess. Okay, everybody. Let's see. Let's talk about the DIA. I'm sure some of you have been there, flown right to it. Probably seen every single thing I'm going to talk about. But the first thing that most people will see when they go into the place, right out front, there's a big old blue horse with glowing red eyes. And they call it Lucifer. Lucifer is actually called Mustang. Mustang is the actual name of the sculpture. And they call it Lucifer, though, because it actually killed the guy who sculpted it. Like a piece of it fell on him, severed an artery, and killed him. So while the sculptor was actually sculpting Lucifer, it killed him. So his kids, it's not funny, I'm not laughing at that, it's just so ironic. But his kids finished it. And I guess they finished it and they put it, up at the airport or whatever. Anyway, it's still there. And it's creepy. I mean, this horse does not look inviting whatsoever. He says the artist chose to do like red glowing eyes. They said because it was like a tribute to his father who owned like a neon shop or something. I guess he made neon signs or something like that. And they said that that's why he did those glowing eyes like that. But I mean, it's just creepy, man. Who wants to see that when you're flying in to an airport or driving into an airport somewhere you're about to get on a plane? Man, I don't want to see that. I want to see something nice and friendly, something happy, not some crazy apocalyptic looking horse, man. But that's the thing, they say it's like one of the fourth horseman of the apocalypse. They say that's what it symbolizes. Well, I don't know. But, the thing about the DIA is it is so weird that it's almost normal. I mean, it's like everything in it is so strange, but it's all strange. It's like it's meant to be strange. And that's the thing, it's like right in front of your face. And I'll get into that a little more about how blatant they are with certain things. Anyway, back to what's out there. Okay. Lucifer, Mustang, whatever, that's one of the weirdest things out there for sure. And that's like the first thing typically that you'll see when you drive in. So I'm just saying, I mentioned that first because of that. But anyhow, inside the building, the whole Denver International Airport, which even on the outside, on the exterior, if you want to get into like Illuminati stuff, there's so many pyramids, so many triangles on that thing. It's like all over, like the roof, and they're just all over the place. So that's kind of weird, just because of everything else that's there. This is really weird, though. Okay, this is one thing that I think is really strange. The biggest contributors to this airport were the Freemasons. Okay, they contributed the most money to have this airport built. And in their honor, there is a time capsule that is placed there. It was placed there by the New World Airport Commission. All right, the New World Airport Commission doesn't exist. Okay, that's an organization or a commission that has yet to exist, I guess I'll say. It hasn't existed yet. So, what is it? Why did they put that there? Why couldn't they just said, like, the FAA or something, you know? I mean, FAA has nothing to do with this. That's why. So, anyway, they were the biggest contributors. And they have this time capsule sitting right there in the airport. It has the Masonic logo on it, the G and the compass and all that. It has all of that on it. Okay. It's just right there engraved in this big piece of granite right there, and it's got a bunch of, inscription on it. And the time capsule is not supposed to be removed and opened until 2094. Okay, so 2094 is when it can be opened. I don't know who's gonna bust that thing open and get it out, but I want to see what it is. This is another weird thing about that time capsule. Okay, when I saw it, okay, one of the things that is another, before I mention this about it, I want to mention the date. Okay, the stone, it's like a dedication stone. All right, it was dedicated on 3/19/94. Okay, that equals out to 33, which is the degrees of Scottish Rite Freemasonry, like the number of degrees, 33. You get to the top, the 33rd, 31st, 32nd, 33rd level, and that's like supposed to be the Illuminati levels. There's that's the level that the all-seeing eye is on, the Eye of Horus or whatever. That level, and once you reach that, you're supposed to be in the illuminated category, I guess. You're in the top tier, the top three. And to be up there, they say that's when you know enough, you have enough knowledge to be enlightened enough to be illuminated. And that's where really the Illuminati thing comes from. So that's one of the weird things about this too, is that there's all kinds of numerology in this that just, it's strange. Okay, now what I was going to say about the time capsule though, okay, if you look at this time capsule, there is another one, okay, another time capsule that looks just like this, and it is at the Georgia Guidestones in Alberta, Georgia. I think it's Alberta, something like that. It's some little town in Georgia, okay? And the Guidestones are these big monuments. If you're not familiar with them, I'm sure some of you are, but they're well known. But they say it's like the commandments of the New World Order. And when you read them, yeah, it pretty much is. They're written in like 7 different languages or something like that. And it's like these pieces of granite. They're like front and back, and they're inscribed the same thing, like in 7 different languages. And it's all like, the guide stones. It's like the guidelines for the New World Order. That's exactly what this is. And they call it like America's Stonehenge. It's also like, set to line up perfectly, like with the sun to keep time, date, I don't know, something like that. There's some kind of significance there too, some kind of function there. Can't remember exactly what it was, but I haven't studied up on the guidestones in a while. But they are interesting, and if you don't know about them, go check them out. They were actually put there by, this guy came in, and he was not like the person who he worked for the people who wanted to put up the guidestones, I guess. Whoever it is did it anonymously, and I think it was like pretty well known that it was some sort of organization that did it rather than an individual. But the guy that came in worked for them, and he came up to him and like just walked in and said, I want this monument put up. and somehow or another he did it. It cost a ton of money. I mean, these are big, massive, like 8 foot, maybe 10 foot slabs of granite, like huge rocks, huge. They call it like a little Stonehenge, and I mean, it's unreal looking. It's really cool. But anyway, all that aside, yeah, the name is also weird. R.C. Christian is the name of the pseudonym that whoever did it went under. R.C. Christian. So that's weird too. Anyhow, the guide stones though, man, they're freaky. But it has a time capsule with the Masonic symbol on it, just like the one at the Denver International Airport. Has the same thing, and it's like a time capsule right there buried in the ground. The same type of granite thing. I mean, the dedication stone, it all looks the same as the one in the airport. So there's one at the guide stones and one at the airport that look just alike. Okay. Now, what makes Colorado the place to put an airport like this? Okay, I think it's the largest in the country, but it's like the fifth busiest or something like that too. So there's nothing around it, nothing. It's like, miles outside of Denver. So the land is just, it's bare out there. There's about 30,000 employees, 33, 35,000 people that work there. So what makes Colorado such a desirable place to have the biggest airport in the country? Well, Colorado has always been one of those states that is extremely unique, and the reason being is because it is completely self-sufficient. Colorado has about everything. Okay, you've got almost all types of terrain. You've got like desert, water, you've got mountains, forest, snow, tundras, whatever. You've got it all in Colorado. But the one thing that makes Colorado more unique than any other state is that it has an endless supply of fresh water. The snow that accumulates on the Rockies continually falls, continually melts, and runs down mountains, mountainsides everywhere. You have a continuous flow of fresh water in Colorado. And as long as there's weather, there will be fresh water in Colorado. So that's why. That's where you want to be. Okay, that's the place you want to be. When everything else is done, that's the place you want to be. You want to be where the water is. The water is the one thing we will have to have no matter what. You can live without a lot of other things. But that is the essence of life. That is our essence. We are mostly water. So, you have to have it. So, would you not want to put a place that's stories and stories underground, too? I mean, this airport is not just like a surface at all. It's like there are many levels that go beneath the ground. And nobody even really knows how many, to be honest. I don't know how many. I've heard 9, I've heard 12. There's a lot. Regardless of what I've heard, there's a lot. I know that. And the thing is, what's weird is it starts on level 3. That's another thing. There's a lot of different theories about this. There's not a level 1 and a level 2. When you get to the tunnels, it starts on 3. So, what's weird about it is they originally made these tunnels to be some kind of extremely high-tech. Now, remember, this was mid-90s. or I mean, this was being built, forever. So, but it was early on in the 90s. They had conceived this idea, I guess, of this insanely crazy, like, suitcase, like, luggage rack, package system, luggage system, like this freaking nuts thing that was going to be completely automated, completely, like, I don't know, it was supposed to be futuristic. Well, it was a little too futuristic, I think, for the time, because they ended up not being able to do it whatsoever and scrapping the whole idea. Okay, they went $2 billion over budget on this airport. All right, $2 billion back in the early 90s. Okay, you guys remember back in the early 90s, those of you who were around then, you remember back then, man, a million bucks. That went a long way. If you were a millionaire, you were doing something. Nowadays, man, it's billions. You gotta be a billionaire if you're gonna be balling nowadays, That's the thing. Back then, $1 billion, man, that would build you a lot of stuff. They went 2 billion over budget, over the billions they'd already spent on this project. So what did they do with that money? And they can't really, no one can really account for it. Everybody has a different idea of what happened. Nobody knows for sure. That's the thing. They say all kinds of stuff that they did that makes up for it. There's some legitimate excuses. I've heard some, but it's all a bunch of crap, man. This place is just, it was built for some reason, okay? Now, I've heard of underground tunnels, all right? I've heard that this whole country is connected through underground tunnels. I've heard that for a while, like a long time. I remember listening to somebody talking about it. There was a trucker on some show or some podcast I was listening to a while back, who was talking about delivering packages underneath the surface, like, not packages, but like a transfer truck. It was, I want to say, for Walmart. I want to say he said he drove for Walmart. And he actually had to go down into this underground highway, this like underground interstate. And it, like, he said he went a lot further, a lot quicker than he would have on the normal roads. I don't know how it was connected or what, but I remember just hearing that was the gist of what he was saying. So anyway, that kind of stuff. Okay, so I mean, I've been hearing that forever. What would be so weird about this thing, since we know for sure there are underground tunnels? What would be so weird about this being something like that too? Nothing, in my opinion. But that's me. Anyway, that's Colorado. Another thing about this, okay, the runways, man. The runways are shaped like a swastika. I don't care who you are, you can see it. They are in the shape of a swastika. I don't know why. I don't think that has any. I mean, maybe it's some kind of Nazi stuff that's going on too. Who knows? But the place is so crazy, who knows? I mean, it could just be the way the runways are shaped. I don't know, but there's like 4 major runways, it looks like. And the way that they go out, I mean, it's just looks just like one. If you look it up, Google aerial view of the Denver International Airport, you'll see it. You'll be like, oh, okay. It's unmistakable. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's, just happened to be how they looked, or if they designed it like that. It wouldn't surprise me if they designed it like that, because it's all crazy. They did all this stuff on purpose, I'm sure. But Anyway, one of the weirdest things about this place, though, that people have talked about for a long time are the murals, the pictures. There are paintings, okay? Paintings, big paintings, too. These are big murals, and they are freaky. There's no other way to describe it. They are freaky. Like, one in particular, where there's this, like, Nazi looking German soldier with a gas mask on and some kind of big, massive, like, sword, like some big old saber, just like rearing back, like about to do some kind of killing stroke, like on some kids or something over here. And then there's like a rainbow in the background over on this side. And I mean, they're all symbolic as to like needing to. I mean, you can see that they're meant to show that we need to be more this way in order for it to be more like this, more happy, more peaceful. But it's also been completely interpreted to be right along the lines with the New World Order and their agenda, the stuff that they say. You know, these pictures kind of line up with all of that too. There's a website I used to go to a lot and just read just for fun. Some of it was pretty informative actually, but some of the things were out there, you know. But anyway, it was some conspiracy site, but they had it all broken down with these murals. And the stuff that they said, if you look at the way that the agenda is put forth by the New World Order and the Illuminati or whatever, it's all out there. If you look at that and see what their little, you know, you just look at the Georgia Guidestones, just go read those. Same thing. I mean, you know, there's like, you must leave room for nature, have population under 500 million or something like that. Like, it's crazy. It's real crazy. World population. So anyway, yeah. So I mean, it's these murals. I think they've taken them down actually. Now, I think they replaced them with some goofy like "Why I Love America" kind of thing or something. But I have to say, I'd rather see that than these creepy paintings, man. I mean, the artist, I watched an interview with him, and it really kind of messed him up because so many people took these paintings so wrong. But when you put them in an airport like this, and there's four of them, four big, massive, crazy paintings that depict weird stuff, man. It's not stuff I want my kids looking at, my little kids, you know. I mean, it's freaky. There was like, you know, death in it and all kinds of weird stuff, you know, destruction. And then there was like the healing and everybody coming together and planting this weird looking plant that's sprouting out of the ground. I don't know. It was weird though. There were three of them, and I want to say that they all had some explanation and all that, you know, that the artist wrote out. But no one paid any attention to that because it was obvious what they were saying with it. You know, there was like a city on fire in the background in one of them, and then everybody happy out in the woods, like in nature, like all different races of people happy out in nature with all these animals and stuff. And there's some weirdness in this. Anyway, why would you have that in an airport? I mean, the city had to actually approve it. There were committees that actually had to approve that artwork for it to be placed in that airport. So why would you want that there? I wouldn't want that in my airport, man. Get on with that stuff. Uh-uh. No. Paint me a picture of an island or something cool, you know, like something nice. I want to see no Nazi with a gas mask on, like swinging a sword and cities burning in the background. And man, no. And there's another one like somebody laying in a coffin, like dead, and all these people are like around him. And I don't know, man. There's just weird. It's the only thing you can say about it. Just go look them up. Go look them up. You can see pictures of them everywhere. Some of you have probably seen them in real life, I'm sure. I mean, it's a busy airport. I know lots of people have been there. But anyhow, that's that. And, the people the guy that did that, like I was saying about that interview, I mean, he sounded like he was some kind of normal dude. And he was just kind of painting, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, he said he just painted, I guess, what he felt he should paint. I don't know. But it seems to me like it was probably commissioned to be painted a certain way, like to depict what he actually did accomplish depicting. Because that's just too weird. All this other stuff thrown in with that. I mean, you kind of really can't get more blatant than that, man. You're painting pictures of it. So, but I mean, you've got these underground layers, I mean, levels, and that's what's getting me about this, because I really do think that because it's so far underground, they have got bunkers set up, and it's an airport, so, high level people could come in no problem and be right there ready to go down to the bunker wherever they're staying till things clear up. I mean, that seems like the logical thing, in my opinion. I mean, if I was running a country, yeah, I'd do that. Better believe it. I mean, if it was like my place and I had all the money and resources to do it, yeah, I'd be building me a bunker like that. Yeah, wouldn't you? Yeah. But I may be building a bunker for a lot of people, if I was doing things like that. But we're not going to go there. Anyway, but yeah, I think there's definitely something to that with the underground layers, bunkers. A lot of people say that there's reptilians living down there, and that's another thing about how blatant they are. And this is what I was going to mention. You know, this they did this ad campaign, okay, on like when they were doing construction. All right. And it was like they were just poking fun at all these conspiracy theories and the people who have been talking about them forever. Well, they said there's ads, and I actually pulled some of them up so I could read them to you guys. I'll add them to the video if I can. Pretty sure I can. But anyway, one of them has Lucifer on it, and it says, we creating the world's greatest airport or preparing for the end of the world?" And it has Lucifer, like arched and like bucking, doing his little laser eyes, red laser eyes. See if I can get a picture of that for you and show it to you guys real quick. But I'll try to, excuse me. I'll try to also put them on the end of the video. It's just really weird. The way that they have done this stuff, put it right out in front of us. I mean, that's what they're doing. And I can't tell you what they're planning, but I'm going to tell you this, guys. We are in some weird times right now. There's just no way around it. No question, you know? And I don't know what to say about much of it, except that, here it is, real quick. I'll show it to you with my tablet. There you go. There's Lucifer. Yeah, you guys see that? It's crazy. Yeah, that's what they were putting up in the airport all over the place when they were doing construction. They were putting up these crazy little, they were actually really big, like posters or banners, whatever. They were putting them up everywhere, and they were all saying something like this: making fun of the conspiracy theories that people always have talked about and associated the airport with. And I mean, yeah, it's a funny little ad campaign. But also, what if they were just going ahead and telling you the truth? What if it wasn't a joke? Okay? I mean, no one's going to consider that. They could have been, they could come back sometime at some point and say, well, we told you guys all about it. When we did that ad campaign, you guys thought we were just messing around, playing around, making fun of stuff. But no, you guys, you know what I mean? We told you all about it. I mean, there's these gargoyles too, man. These freaky little gargoyles up all over the place. And I don't really know what's up with those at all. But that was another thing, the gargoyles. People really wig out about them because, especially the way their eyes look and stuff, man, they are creepy. Um, I was looking at, I don't know what they did. It seems like somebody had made one of the gargoyles start talking or something, is what I was just reading. That's not cool. You walk by one of those things, no, thanks. Anyway, but there are some really, really weird ones. Like there's another one that they did with that ad campaign where they said, "What are we doing? Oh, we could just be expanding the something for a better traveling experience or something like that." And then it said, or we could be creating more living space for the reptilians staying here underground, or that kind of stuff is what they were saying. And there's like a picture of a reptilian humanoid on the banner. They went haywire with it, like for real. It's crazy the way that they did this. I've never seen anyone poke fun at themselves as far as conspiracy theories go, like the Denver International Airport did. You know, and it's funny too because it was also, I want to say, this ad campaign right here also came out around that time. Do you guys remember that Taco Bell, that Bell Illuminati or something, where it was like some kind of secret society type Taco Bell stuff, That was about the same time that the Denver International Airport came up with this little ad campaign too. So it's almost like they wanted to put this stuff out there in the open, and they've been conditioning us to the idea of them existing for a long, long time. And people are more conditioned to it now than ever. They accept it more than ever that there's an elite that does stuff, nobody likes them, and they're trying to control everybody and all this other stuff. And that you're probably just going to have that in any society eventually, no matter what. I mean, with enough people, I don't really see how you could get away from that. But, I mean, that's just part of it, I think. I don't know, man. Anyway, I think I've probably been talking about this long enough. But I just wanted to talk about this since I had gotten that email from our buddy Derek. And I just really appreciate you bringing up the topic. And I think it's really interesting. But it's also kind of creepy. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a lot to think about with that place. And there's a lot of things I'm sure that I have left out. And there's a lot of other theories about like why there's nothing around it, like no hotels, no nothing, no restaurants, nothing. Nothing around it. Is just barren land. And no one really knows why. Some people have said that the mayor of Denver or something bought up tons of acreage out there or something to keep things out. I don't know. There's a lot of weird theories about why. But anyway, I know they wanted to keep the airport away from all residential areas when they were building it. So I know they meant to build it away from the, neighborhoods and places where people lived and things like that. But I know that I don't know why they had it so far out. I mean, that's a little extreme the way they've got it. That's another thing. So you never know. And I mean, there's other theories that people say it's like actually held up like by electromagnetism or something, like it's actually held up. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a little out there. Anyway, all right, guys. I'm gonna head out for tonight. So let me know what you think about all this. Leave me some comments and give me some good discussions on some conspiracy theories and all that stuff, man. And I know a lot about a lot of them. So if you guys like hearing about them, I'll do some more episodes, coming up on them. Secret societies and stuff like that. I've studied that stuff for a long time. But anyway, just let me know what you guys want to hear about. And send me your paranormal, guys. Please keep sending it. I get some awesome stuff and I want to read more. So remember, paranormalrushhour@gmail.com. So anyway, guess that's about it. I'll be back with you guys as soon as I can. So until then, everybody, please stay safe. I'm going to try to get back with you guys before the 20th, but if I don't, please stay safe and take it easy. And just remember, we're all in it together, man. So that's that. All right, guys, take it easy.